Greg, I never had any real choice about being involved in aviation because as a child my parents moved very close to the factory and airfield of the Bristol Airplane Company in England. And I grew up with the sight and sound of aircraft. As a schoolboy in World War II, I devoured everything published about every aircraft flying. And there were lots of time for study during air raids. I was much too young to be frightened. I recall only the pure excitement of trying to identify the precise type of bomber caught in the searchlights over Bristol amidst the exploding shells. Inevitably, I joined the local Air Training Corps and Air Scout troops, and when I left school, I entered the drawing office of the engine division of Bristol Airplane Company. They were very generous. They allowed me to complete my apprenticeship by spending 2 years at College of Aeronautics at Cranfield. In addition to formal studies and research, we had flying lessons, and I can report that fortunately for the whole of mankind, I did not progress beyond my first solo in a Tiger Moth biplane. After leaving Cranfield, I was the youngest in a small group of engineers, aeronautical engineers, who formed the Air Safety and Survey Division of the British Aviation Insurance Company in London. One day, the big white chief, Captain A.G. Lamplugh, came into our office and said, "One of you should know about the law." And he pointed at me. I was 23 years old. I took it as an instruction. That was not too difficult. In those days, I was traveling around the world by piston engine aircraft, lots of time to study. I studied part-time and ultimately became a member of the English bar. In this way, although I was employed, I became the first in-house lawyer in the London aviation insurance market. I began to specialize in the legal liabilities of the complete aviation industry around the world. And the wonderful part of my job was meeting the leading defense lawyers around the world on both sides of the Atlantic. One of my earliest bits of good fortune was meeting a young lawyer called George Tompkins. He was then the newest associate in a firm that dealt mainly with regulatory matters in those days, Condon and Forsyth. Since that time, when I met George in the late 50s, he has defended probably more Warsaw cases than any other lawyer on earth. He introduced me to Lee Kreindler, a U.S. plaintiff's lawyer who was highly regarded, but I was very uneasy about meeting a U.S. plaintiff lawyer because in London in those days, U.S. plaintiff's lawyers were generally regarded by insurers, that is, as an unavoidable forum shopping, greedy bunch of bandits driven by a distasteful contingent fee system, which relentlessly generated outrageous jury awards of damages. It was therefore a very pleasant surprise to discover that Lee Crinder was a truly gentle man with a warm personality and a passion for justice. I owe a great deal to the Royal Aeronautical Society in London, the oldest aeronautical society in the world, because in just about 50 years ago, the society formed an air law group in response to a suggestion that I made at a main lecture. Becoming a member of that group became a badge of specialization, facilitated what today is known as networking. But I'd like to make it absolutely clear that whatever reputation I may have enjoyed in relation to aviation law, it was inevitably enhanced by the caliber of outstanding young lawyers who worked with me over the years. I am truly thankful to them.